I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I want a way I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything.
The venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted, created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
We late as fuck, bro. So the Xfinity guy comes in. I explain to him everything that's been acting funky, and I tell him, yeah, it connects to the, like, I'm getting a signal from the Wi-Fi modem and router, but there's straight up no internet, right? So he tests the line. Sure enough, there's no internet coming through it. Goes downstairs. Takes him a little while, right? Comes back up the stairs, and he's like, it was just disconnected. And I was like, what do you mean it's just disconnected? He's like, I don't know. It was just disconnected, you and another person. And I was like, what? And I asked him, I was like, they don't put locks on that? And he's like, no, they don't put locks on it because people lose keys. And I'm like, well, at the postal service, they fire. He's like, yeah, I know, they fire you. You cut me off. And I was like, he's like, yeah, I don't know why they don't do that. So I guess somebody was down there fucking with the box and disconnected my internet. He said that maintenance can do it. He said that it could have been just, it could have been literally just about anybody. So if it happens again, the next guy that comes out to fix it, so just be aware this may happen again if someone's fucking with me. So I'm gonna ask the next time someone comes out to look at it if I can look and see what box it is and what cable's mine. So that way, if this happens again, I'll just go down there, reconnect that motherfucker, and I can continue like normal. No, the hill has presented itself, therefore I must climb, because that's what I do. I climb. I ain't gonna sit my lazy ass down at the bottom and do nothing. What the hell is this? Okay, let's get this bad boy going. I did not save a single thing. I don't have anything open. I literally sat down, opened up all the tabs I needed to stream, and yeah, we're rolling with the punches today, boys. We get to jump probably straight into politics. At least we'll have a good little amount of stuff saved up for tomorrow when it comes to gaming. There really hasn't been much of anything anyway, but at least we'll have some goodies. You know what I'm saying? This week has been fucked. Between Asman getting suspended and Trump not bombing terrorists, man, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. Not the best. Let me see. Do we got any Charlie videos? It's already what, 8? It's 9. It's 9. So it's 9. We're gonna skip the game and stuff. We're gonna jump into like maybe Charlie or somebody. Yeah. What does Charlie got? Oh, what's this? Ivanka?
Wow.
Is that Trump's wife? Who is this?
I don't even know
Oh
how
my god, Charlie. Charlie, you're killing me. Okay, here
to
we go.
appropriately express my shock for what just unfolded here. Best I can do is one of these. Like a Mr. Beast thumbnail. Melania Trump, from out of nowhere,
Melania,
just
okay.
delivered a speech going over Epstein. The whole thing was more surprising than when people learned Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father.
Trump's
and even
daughter,
more
okay.
surprising for me, because I only recently learned that Melania can speak. I hadn't heard a peep from her in many, 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 many years. I just assumed she had taken like a vow of silence or something, and that Trump
Melania's
just speaks
his wife,
for her.
okay.
I only
So
learned
his
that
daughter-
she talks after the trailers for the Melania documentary, which, by the way, is directed by Brett Ratner, who was also present in the Epstein files with some not good photos out there of him. Interesting choice to direct her movie. A big part of this press conference was about how it's a bunch of lies that she was like a close associate of Epstein or like a victim of Epstein, and that it was only ever casual court.
And now the plot thickens, boys. Oh man, here we
Correspondence
go.
with
Here we
Maxwell
go.
slash Epstein, and that the email that recently came out, you know, it's misleading. It's not actually indicative of like a personal connection there. So she tries to defend that and shoot all of that down, and then she also says some things that are directly contradictory to Donald Trump and the entire administration's stance on the Epstein files.
Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone.
Those words alone just had Kash Patel shoot up out of his bed in cold sweats, awaken abruptly from his slumber, tinkling.
I was gonna say, bro was in a coma. That's definitely enough to shake. That's enough to shake down the pillars of Olympus themselves, boys. Oh man, we've got a full-on fucking shake-up of the entire rich tree. Let's go.
He's gonna need to calm down.
She just threw a major wrench into everything. I guarantee it. I guarantee you this person. I guarantee you she just shook up a lot of people. The lies are unfolding, and remember, it only takes one.
Chugging some brewskis because Perjury Patel has maintained that Epstein, there's no credible evidence that Epstein trafficked minors to anyone. The only person is Epstein and Maxwell. That's it. There's no other clients or anything. But here,
buying
the
gold?
First Lady is saying Congress needs to act.
Might as well,
and that
huh?
Epstein wasn't alone. This flies in the face of the official stance of the administration and Donald Trump himself, where they talk about how justice has been served. So get over it. Even Todd
Justice has not been served. It has not even remotely been close. Fuck that mentality. Again, what we need to do is take all the people that are in those files that are named in there until they unredact those files. Is we need to remove them from power and strip, like if it's Donald's in there and his name is obviously in there 35,000 times with no like hard evidence released to the public yet, or any, who knows? He should still be stripped from presidency and let JD take over. We need to line all these people. We need to get everybody in Congress down at the Senate floor, and they need to get the guy that pushed the law to start calling out names at the podium, and then they need to have a bunch of people that are carrying a bunch of crosses, like in Oh Brothers Where Art Thou, where the guy was like, "Is you is or is you ain't my constituency," getting hauled the fuck up out of there and staked on the White House lawn. That's what needs to happen to these motherfuckers. Ain't no reason why any representative of the Congress or of the presidency should be out and about if they have anything condemning in those files, or if their name is dropped in there with how much they have redacted, they damn sure shouldn't be making decisions on American lives. Absolutely not. Not until this full thing unfolds. Period. No exception.
Not even shy about it. Not a crime to party with Epstein. Probably won't be doing any further investigations. Their official stance is that everything that would ever happen with the Epstein files has happened, and that the American people shouldn't care about it, and anyone that does care about it is a bad person. Also, the Epstein files aren't real. They're a Democrat.
Well, how's it going, T-Money? What happened?
Folks. Meanwhile, from out of nowhere, Melania Trump delivers...
Turned on Trump. I've said that since day one. Turned on Trump. Trump was a means to an end. You see, when somebody does something that I want, like what Trump is doing, which is closing the borders and getting people out of here, that's great. But at the end of the day, and this is, let me explain. I like what Trump is doing. I love the Iran war. I think that it's an amazing thing that what he's doing in the Middle East. I love the fact that he is banning rich people or corporations from buying houses. I love all of the things that he's done. I can keep naming them off, but I want to get to the root of this, and I want to get to it without, going astray. When you are implicated in something that is as heavy as the Epstein files, and we still don't have the full unredacted files like what is supposed to be happening, you're compromised. You are. It doesn't mean that you're right or wrong. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. But it's the fact that you're in these files, and there are a lot of very powerful, rich people that are trying everything in their power to keep these files redacted. And you being in these files compromises you. What's going to happen? If come to find out Trump did anything he shouldn't have been doing in those files, any person that's going to run with immigration policies, with stopping terrorists, with doing what ICE is doing, they're going to look back at Trump and those files, and they're going to be like, if you think like that, that means you're a pedo. He is single-handedly going to fuck everything he built up. If it comes to find out he's in these files and it's condemning, he will make an entire ideology against thinking that way. This is way more dangerous than you think. It's not just about Trump. This could completely destroy the United States of America. Because anybody that has that mentality of tight borders, border security, war on terror, anything that involves anything that Trump has done in his year and a half in office, he's putting all of it at jeopardy. That's what he's doing. Just by being implicated in those files. I ain't got a problem with Trump. I got a problem with a pedo. And if he didn't do anything wrong, that's fine. But if he did, he's putting everything at jeopardy. Everything that he has fought for the past year and a half could be single-handedly dismantled and alienated from voting. You gotta look outside and look at the big picture. You gotta look at the big picture. You got to.
This speech where she's talking about her relationship to Epstein and how, there's a bunch of lies about it and it's all not true, but also...
And yeah, it is called justice. Sorry, but if you're in these files, I don't really care how much you did in that's good in the world. If you in these files that shows you doing something very bad with these young ladies, they're not even these are girls, bro. These are fucking. This is some sick shit. The stuff that's in those files is damn. I don't even think Satan would come up with some of the shit that's in those files, dude. Nah, bro.
How important the Epstein files are, and that action needs to be taken, which is very much flying.
And I've stood with this from day one. I like what Trump's doing, but at the same time, I can like the mentality, but hate the person. If I want somebody else that's in power that's going to do the same thing Trump is doing without all the baggage of those goddamn files, that's what I want. That's what they are. They're baggage. Those files will completely ruin everything we fought hard for these past year and a half.
Face of her husband's perspective on it and the administration that has desperately tried to make people forget about it. This came out of nowhere. Melania Trump delivered this at a time where no one was talking about the Epstein files.
And that's fine. And that's fine. If they're just in the files because they used his plane or some shit, that's fine. I don't care about that. I don't care about those people being arrested or anything. They don't need to be arrested. If all they did was use his private plane or they were just kind of here and there, there's nothing that's solid that can condemn them to actually going to jail. They're fine. I don't care about them. Those aren't the big fish. I'm looking for the big white whale. You know what I'm saying? We need to find and stake his ass up. That's what we need. We need to find all the white whales in here, and all. That's funny. I'm referring to Moby Dick. If you're wondering what the fuck I'm talking, I'm not referring to a gender. I'm referring to Moby Dick. We need to find these motherfuckers and stake them up. That's who we need to find.
Media had forgotten.
Like if Trump's in it 25, 50, 60,000 times, I don't give a fuck. If he doesn't do anything, I could give a rat's ass. But if he has even a little bit of evidence in there that says that he's done anything vile with or heinous with any of these little girls, that cross looking awfully tall today, boys. He's gonna get the biggest one too.
About it, the administration got hit by the Men in Black neuralizers.
And I gotta make sure that I stay vague, because if I say what I really think, well, let's just say the TOS probably ain't gonna be fast enough.
They didn't even know who Epstein was. They forgot that name entirely. No. And then Melania Trump comes and does this.
I call on Congress to provide.
I must have done at least 15 or 20 videos on the Epstein stuff. I covered it all. I was reacting to Asman, Fox, the whole 9 yards. So, like, there is a plethora of videos up, and my view of it has stayed constant this entire time. It hasn't changed. Just every video that I've ever reacted to on stream is in one playlist. It's called Reaction Slop. Go over there and check it out. There's like 2,000 plus videos in there now. It's all in there.
The women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn
How's it going,
testimony.
Melissa?
Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record.
Well, yeah, why haven't they got these victims up to the White House yet? Why haven't these victims been able to go in front of the Senate floor and testify? You say you care about the victims, and yet none of these victims have been able to testify. Why? Why are you trying to lock it down so hard?
Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
This had to be a huge jump scare to most people in the administration because I don't think they signed off on that. And I read a couple reports that she went rogue and did this without like official approval through the channels of the Epstein administration and their attempts to cover it up at every possible angle imaginable.
I don't believe that. I think this was planned. I do. I think it was planned. What if, after everything, come to find out Trump was the good guy? Let's let that sink in. He has his wife. Or is that's his wife, right? Go up on stage after a documentary made by some opposing a political person is about to condemn a lot of stuff. Talk about the Epstein files and their release. During a press conference? Do you know how much time and effort it takes to make a press conference, to inform the media that there's going to be a press conference, to set the time up, the place, no. You're not going to convince me that she did this by herself. I'm sorry. Somebody somewhere is pulling strings like it's supposed to be, and I feel like we're just a piece in a very big game of chess. There is a lot of pieces being moved around, and it's only a matter of time before someone gets checkmated.
If those reports are true, if that's accurate, and she did this just willy-nilly, on a whim, I bet the administration is fucking fuming over it. And now she calls for Congress to act, but Melania, get ready for the cold water. That call's coming from inside the house. You need look only in your bedside. Donald Trump is one of the main...
When do you think the last time Donald Trump actually slept next to his wife was? I could totally see them taking turns on the couch just to not be in the same room with each other. What is it with rich people that do that shit, dude? Like, how could you be married to somebody you barely ever see? I hear that shit a lot, like, with, like, murder cases and stuff. Apparently, their spouse has no idea that they're, like, killing, like, 50 people and they're, like, fucking wealthy or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, I was away for, like, 3 weeks and then, da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, because, like, I get marrying for wealth. But the fact that they don't even, like, it feels like rich people never even talk or see each other. It's weird, right? Like, am I the only person that, like, thinks that it's weird? It's like, and you can hear two different people that are supposed to be married talking, and it's like they're not even in the same house most of the time. It's weird.
Perpetrators of covering this shit up. His whole administration does everything in their power to bury it. So she is now mentioning...
No, it isn't. This is a bunch of pedos trying to cover up for a bunch of pedos. It was never about Democrats or Republicans. We are at war in this country, and a lot of people's eyes are completely shut to it. They don't even realize that it's not about race. It's not about black and white and Asian, Hispanic. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about a bunch of pedos that are covering their own dirt tracks after they've done some foul shit in our government, and another group of government trying to colonize us while we're trying to go through this nonsense in our, like, we're literally dealing with what could be the end of the country. If they keep mass importing these illegals and giving them our welfare, and Social Security and all of our shit, we're not going to have a country left, guys. They're not going to have anything left. This isn't about race or religion. It's about literal colonization. They're coming in here, taking our jobs, getting our homes, taking all of our stimulus money that's supposed to be for our elders. They're using elder healthcare, daycares. They're trying to fucking... They're trying to take everything from us while our government is in shambles because of these damn files. We're being fucked 7 different ways, bro.
Survivors directly, that's like Voldemort's name to this administration. They do not address the survivors, the victims of Epstein. So that was extremely surprising to hear her directly talk about it and how important it is to hear their testimony. I agree. We should be able to hear more from them and get more information about their experiences here and at least hear from them, which has been something this administration has been desperately trying to avoid, plugging their ears to it. I think she's right when it comes to that. Now, this wasn't the only thing she was addressing during this. The main thing is she was trying to set the record straight on her connection to Epstein and how they weren't close at all, and all of these lies that have been spread about her being an Epstein victim or a close associate and pal are just a bunch of hooey, it's all hogwash. Which, again, comes out of nowhere because I hadn't heard those claims come up in months. This has been something the mainstream media has been radio silent on, crickets. So this just came out of nowhere and once again puts it right in people.
I think the Epstein files proves my systemic issue with having a bunch of senators in seats for 20, 30, 40 years. These senators need to be on rotation every 4 or 5 years. They don't need to maintain the same seat continuously. Because think of it like this. When you have somebody like Epstein that owned 2 of the most wealthy properties in the entire world and then had a ranch where he paid off the area police to do whatever he wanted on his ranch, what do you think the likelihood is that a lot of very wealthy people are lining the pockets of these senators to maintain the the redacted versions of those files. Even if you just have two people running around the government, maintaining funding from a rich person to keep those files on lock, that's two people too many. This is a very dangerous game we're playing.
Noodle brings it, right up front and center, which is great. I mean, actually, it's really wonderful that she decided to start talking about Epstein again in this way, because now, once again, it will remind people of the blatant corruption and the evil, the heinous acts that are being covered up here from this administration. It really is so wild, because this was not being discussed all that openly. I do know now, as a result of this, that some email has been shared about her emailing with Epstein and Maxwell or something to that effect, which is something she also talks about in this, so I'm guessing that was probably the catalyst that made her want to do it.
Yeah, that's what Charlie was talking about a couple minutes ago, is that apparently they made a movie or a documentary on Melania and the Epstein stuff, and it had like a lot, apparently, allegedly, has a lot of heavy shit in there, a lot of condemning stuff. And it's interesting that, and here's what kind of gets me. They're allowing a person to make a movie or a documentary on Melania and the Epstein stuff. Why? Isn't that just a form of defamation if it's not true? And if it's true, then why stand in front of a podium? If it's not true, then why stand in front of a podium and say that? Why not just take that person to court for defamation? That's the question. If it's not true, and someone makes a movie about you being a serial killer or a terrorist, and you don't like it, and you sue that person, shouldn't that fall under the guidelines of defamation or character destruction? Like, is that not what that is? If it's not true, right? So why waste your time making a press conference? Why not just immediately talk to a bunch of lawyers? Now I got everybody thinking in chat. Now I got you thinking, don't I? That's what we do here.
People weren't really talking about until she brought it up. It's like if I go into a crowded theater and
Yep. The technician came in about like 8, finished about like 8:40. So I was able to hop on. So we probably gonna finish out the day like normal. And we'll be back to normal schedule tomorrow, and as long as apparently someone disconnected my internet, as long as somebody doesn't disconnect my fucking internet again, I'll be resuming schedule. Apparently the Hydra has a fucking weakness that I didn't know about.
I say, all right, everyone, listen.
Yeah, there's a lot of necks, but whenever you're attached to one piece of shit body, man.
I just want to make it clear, I did not shit my pants. And I don't want anyone here to think that I did.
They are suing? Okay. Yeah, okay. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy. So they are suing. And you have to keep in mind that if they're suing, in the court of law, they have to release information to that court, not to public, but there's going to be information as long as it's a private hearing. There will be information exchanged between the individuals involved and the court. So, whenever I hear someone's being sued, for example, Imran Miskif, he has to bring a level of information to the table that proves his innocence. So there's going to be Epstein files most likely dragged into this that will disprove this video. So keep that in mind. As long as it's an unbiased, unpaid, that's the big one right fucking there, court, then it'll be something that we can go off of. Not much, and you can take it with a grain of salt, but it's still something.
All right. Now that that's out of the way, carry on. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, we weren't even really thinking about that, but now that you've mentioned it, it makes us think that you might have done it.
Fuck Ms. Kiff, bro. I'd be saying a whole lot more if I knew I wouldn't get fucking sued. Piece of shit.
Like, did you poop your pants?
Oh, she threw a pillow at me, so I put a hole in the wall. Fuck off, piece of dog shit.
Like, what's bringing this up
Fuck
here?
no, Emeru all the way.
The lies linking me with the disgraceful
No, if I gotta clarify anything, just say it, man. I'll say that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Jeffrey
I don't care.
Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards.
We got our first chirper, boys. Who's the little boy up top? I'm your dad. I'm your dad, man. I know that's the first time you've ever seen me, but I'm your dad. I'm your dad, bro. How's it going? Oh, wait, that's the wrong person. That's the wrong person, my bad. Yeah, I know. I know it's the first time we meeting, but you know, I figured you'd have to find out eventually. Yeah, I know it sucks. Well, I'm going to get some milk now. I'll be back. Hello? What just happened? What has happened here? You think it's that? I mean, I could try that. I mean, that's just fucking weird. Like, I think I hit something. Charlie, speak up. I can't hear you. Okay, obviously something's fucked up here. Hold on. Something is severely fucked up here. How the fuck does this even happen? Hold on. Give me a second, I guess. Hold on. How the fuck? That means I gotta close the damn chat too, huh? Oh, this sucks. It's always something. Never fails. Never fails. Gotta reopen the stream chat. Did OBS crash? Oh, it's right here. Nope, that ain't it. Fuck is going on here? What the fuck is going on? Like, what the fuck? Why is it doing this? It's like it just straight up stopped picking up the audio. Does this work? Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. I think I know what's going on. Hold on. Gotta open up my settings right quick. I want the damn whatever. Open the taskbar settings, piece of shit. I think I hit something when I did that. Display and sound. It's gotta be OBS then. That's the only thing that makes sense. If it's OBS, then hold on. Oh, what the fuck, dude? Does this work? Oh, even the music's not working. Oh no, that's working. The fuck? So if I did that video capture device, add an existing video capture. I don't know what the fuck. Video capture device 3? Application, audio browser. Hit that. Cancel. Media, image, audio, browser, video capture device, add existing, 3, okay. Nothing. That's really fucking weird. Remove, yes. The microphone's capturing. I don't know why it just all of a sudden decided it was no longer going to output anything. What the fuck is going on? Hold on, give me a second. Stream might go down. Hold on. 3, 4, 5. Nope, that didn't do it either. Let me restart this fucking desktop then. Hold on. It's not this desktop. It's gotta be that one. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I think I hit a button or something. I don't know. But the stream should stay up. Hold on. Let me see. Because I just closed and opened OBS. So something is obviously screwy. I don't know what the fuck is causing this. Yeah, I'll play some music. Not that one. I'll play some music.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
I don't know what's going on, man. This week just has been shit, man. I don't know what. So restarting the computer. It's about to come up now soon, hopefully. I don't know what the hell I hit. Can't be the headphone, it's gotta be the actual device.
You will never see me crack, and if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back.
It's like it's not taking the audio whatsoever. I don't understand this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you, you piece of dog shit? Take the fucking audio.
When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
You know what? You know what? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You sorry bastard, you would open on the other screen, wouldn't you? Hold on.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody.
What the fuck?
For fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this. Do it no cap.
Maybe it is not that either.
Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
I don't know. That's the weirdest fucking shit. Setting changed by slip on a button. What the fuck is going on, bro? I don't understand. What, like, just all of a sudden decided that it was no longer going to put out audio. Even whenever I make a new thing, it just won't take the damn audio. I don't know. I make a new. I just don't get that. Like, why the fuck? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It just straight up decided it was done. I guess I don't. Let me see. Is there a way to F2? It's just so fucking weird. Like, what the fuck is going on? It's like nothing wants the output audio. Why? Why is it doing this? I just don't get it. Wait, it was whoever was just there. Oh, maybe. Maybe that's what it is, huh? Oh, wait. Nope, that ain't it either. Well, it's motherfucking outputting. It's outputting. I could see the master volume raising and lowering. It's gotta be OBS, man.
Have enrichment
Oh
at
my God.
3.67% under the JCPOA.
Holy
They exceeded
fuck.
that. Anytime you go to 20% and more,
I
you're
don't
heading towards
know.
weapons grade. And we know, we are very sure.
I don't
that
know. I have no idea what fucking caused that. I don't know. It just decided it was no longer going to output all. I don't fucking know. I got to pull up the chat in the backdrop. Today is just cooked, bro, guys. I'm sorry. Today is just fucked. I don't know what is going. I was not meant to stream today. I don't know what the fuck is going on today. It started yesterday at 2:30 and it has not stopped yet. I need to be careful, man. A fucking piece from an airplane is going to take my sorry ass out. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, I had to pull the chat back up in the backdrop. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I have no idea. No clue what did that. I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. Straight up. I don't know. I didn't change any settings. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I wish I could say I knew. I have no idea. I know I'm pretty pissed off right now, but I don't know what I should be pissed off at. I don't know.
Extremely surprising to hear.
You have no idea how
when it
nice
comes
it is
that.
to hear his voice
Now,
again.
This wasn't the only thing she was addressing during this. The main
I don't know.
thing is she was trying to set the record straight on, like, what's bringing this in some capacity.
A relationship with Epstein or his accomplice.
I think
Maxwell.
we could probably just move on from this. I mean, I think I've said everything I wanted to say about it. Okay, let's just move on from that. Okay, here we go. We got Fox talking about it now.
Our First Lady Melania Trump giving a very rare public address, shutting down the rumors.
I didn't think
had
she
a
could speak English. I'm not even kidding. I didn't think she could.
personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Rumors I didn't hear of. She's also calling on Congress to give survivors a platform to tell their story. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy here with.
The real question is she saying that because she thinks they won't, or is she saying that because she wants them to have a platform?
More Peter.
Good morning, and with no heads up from the White House yesterday
That's
at
the
about
real question.
2:30 p.m., we all turned on a dime from talking about Epic Fury to talking about Epstein.
I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell.
The only other time the First Lady has given a statement like this, it was about corresponding with Vladimir Putin to recover Ukrainian kids kidnapped by Russia. Her message this time was intended for people just up the street in Congress.
I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors.
Not gonna see you for a month, Beat Shaman. No. You gotta keep showing up, man. You gotta keep showing up.
Should have
You gotta
the
do
day
it,
to
bro.
tell her story in public.
How's it going,
if she
mental health?
wishes.
Rare praise for the Trump White House from Democrats. Robert Garcia says, "We agree with First Lady Melania Trump's call for a public hearing with the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein. We encourage Chairman Comer to respond to the First Lady's request and schedule a public hearing immediately. There's also this from Jasmine Crockett. House Oversight Democrats have been calling for a hearing for months. Enough with the cover-up. Melania needs to speak with Chairman
She only
Comer about
speaks
making
like
this
7
happen.
languages?
The survivors deserve justice. Yesterday's surprise statement also included this sharp warning to people putting Melania's names into Epstein stories.
The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop.
One of the main smears the First Lady said yesterday that she is trying to stop is that she was introduced to Donald Trump by Jeffrey Epstein. She says that is not true, and longtime Trump family lore has the two of them getting introduced to each other by Paolo Zampoli, a modeling agent. Back to you.
So Peter, we don't know why. It looks like
if you got to lie about something that simple, somebody in either side there is cooked.
The White House was blindsided by this, right?
I don't think blindsided, but it seems like there was not a big plan for the message to change.
I was going to say, there's no way they didn't know she was going to do this. I mean, come on. A press conference? That means that she sent out a message to a lot of people. She most likely set up the location and the time, and it obviously they knew about it. And the real question is was it planned, or did it actually happen by chance? I mean, did she set it up herself, or did the president, Donald, or his cabinet have anything to do with it? That's the real question.
From a wartime message and peace talks in Pakistan to this. And yesterday, all morning, we were getting calls.
And you can't say it's to take off from the Epstein files, because, like, I mean, like, a lot of people were saying that the war in Iran was the Epstein wars or some stupid shit like that, right? But if you were planning on taking the mindset off of the Epstein files, and your wife goes out and immediately drops this bomb during a ceasefire, I don't think they're trying to cover for the Epstein files. I genuinely don't think that most of the people that are running the White House have any idea what the fuck they're doing. And you know what's honest about it? Is that nobody does. Because how often does somebody become a president? I mean, out of 200 years, there's been 47 of them. So kind of let that sink in. Like, so, I mean,
that this statement was going to air.
Who's going to become the president and be like, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing, and then actually shows they know what they're doing? I'd imagine that's not going to happen.
What's the topic?
You know,
What's
like,
it going to be about? And I was asking in the West Wing, and they said, we don't know. We're not sure. And so it was obviously well planned by the people in the East Wing, but it was a surprise to all of us.
All right. That's the fun part of your job. Got to be ready to change.
Right? Never know what you're going to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Want even more Fox News?
No,
And you
stop it. My ears. Do we have anybody else? Hold on. Proceeds to go back to Fox.
The Utah mother who published
Oh my God.
a children's book about coping with grief after the sudden death of her husband has now officially been found guilty of his murder after 4 long years. And I only say published because it came out during the trial that she didn't even write the book herself at all.
We found text
Did she plagiarize the book?
messages in Miss Richens' phone between her and a contact named Book Writing Lane regarding them writing the book for her.
Yeah, she apparently paid someone something like $2,500 to write the book for her, which I guess was in preparation for her big one. I might go out on a limb and say she's probably not gonna get that big book deal anytime soon. Maybe a true crime.
So let me get this right. So this lady killed her husband and then made a book about dealing with the grief, but she didn't even make the book. She paid somebody to do that too? Did she pay somebody to wipe her ass? Like, I mean, I guess she killed him. She didn't get him assassinated, so I mean...
like that, but unfortunately for her, I don't think they're going to portray her as she wants to be portrayed. But if you've been around my channel for a while, you might remember I actually covered Corey Richins and her horrifying behavior a couple of years ago. I made that video like right after she was charged with the crime of poisoning her husband after the autopsy revealed his body contained...
This actually happens quite a bit. Did y'all see the one video where the veteran went to the police because he kept getting like weird tastes in his coffee, and they said that they couldn't do anything, and then he put a camera up and she was pouring bleach into his fucking coffee to try and kill him and collect the insurance. He was a veteran, dude. And he showed that to the police, and they came and got her ass.
5 times the legal dosage of... Yeah, you heard me right. Now, at the time of that video, she had been this grieving widow and a single mother for about a year, and she was trying to publicly promote her book about how to deal with loss any way she could by going on TV, going on TikToks, and so on and so on.
That sounds awfully familiar, don't it? That sounds awfully familiar. And a certain Gypsy Rose do the same thing? That sounds real familiar, don't it? Oh, I'm just trying to cope with what happened and everything. Goes on national television, goes on TikTok, goes into social media. Weird, ain't it?
So my husband passed away unexpectedly last year. So it's March 4th was a 1-year anniversary for us. He was 39. We have 3 little boys, 10, 9, and 6. You know, my kids and I kind of wrote this book on the different emotions and grieving processes that we've experienced last year.
But we now know, of course, she didn't even write the book, especially not with the help of her 3 kids, as she claimed she did. So not only did she take the life of her husband, no, she lied about going together with her kids and writing a book together about their grieving and how to cope with grieving. I mean, this is just so many layers of being a monster. It's unbelievable.
That is insane.
Detectives investigate how Corey Richins came to appear on Good Things Utah.
Yes, a subpoena was sent to ABC Utah news station. It appeared that they had some kind of standardized form that anyone could fill out to requesting to be on the show, and it looked like Miss Richins had filled that out, and they were communicating.
I bet that form is about to get a lot more complex.
Communicating about the results.
And not to mention, Eric's death, again, never should have happened in the first place. So for her to try to capitalize off of it while she's still, I guess, being too lazy to even write the book herself, this is just outright disgusting. It's all just a really sad and horrifying story about how one selfish mother's choices left her kids not only without a father, but also now without a mother, since Corey will likely spend the rest of her life behind bars. And that is because recently a jury officially found her guilty.
So they had to add a section when I was going to college. Now, I haven't had to put out an electric vehicle, thank God. But they don't happen too often unless you actually intentionally light them on fire or something is really fucked up with that car. But the issue isn't that it lights it. I mean, yes, obviously the issue that it lights on fire, but the issue isn't that it is on fire. The issue is that you could fully submerge that vehicle and it will continue to light on fire because of the batteries that are in it. You can fully submerge that car, an electric vehicle, in water and it will continue to burn under the water, like in a pool. That's the problem with electric car batteries. Is that you could have a car, and here's what's even scarier about it, is that whenever a car that's electric catches on fire and then goes out, it has a 50-50 shot of exploding because of the batteries. It will go out, and then it will explode, and then it will catch fire, and then it'll do this multiple times. It will go out, it will explode, it will catch fire again. It will do this to every one of the batteries that it has in the vehicle. Whenever I was going to college, they didn't have a fix for this yet. I don't know if they do have a fix for this. Usually what the procedure with that kind of car is more like a hazard protection, where you just keep people away from the damn car because you don't know what it's going to do. I mean, you could try foam, but it's not going to matter if one of the other batteries gets overheated and does the same shit. And foam is expensive. Anybody telling you that works at a fire station that foam is oh yeah, we use foam all the time, you're lying. Foam is, let me tell you something. They would rather pump an entire area dry of water before they want you to use foam in your engine, because you have to decommission the fire truck usually. If you have to put it inside of the actual tank, you have to decommission it, you have to clean all that foam out or else it rusts. And then you have to circulate water in it for a couple days. If you have an aerating nozzle that has like a bucket on the front of it, that's a little different, but it's not going to do shit for an electric car fire. It's not going to do a damn thing. You're just going to be blowing bubbles. That's all you're going to be doing with that. But no, electric car fires are a fucking nightmare. They're absolutely a nightmare. That's why it was so damn scary when people were throwing Molotovs at these Tesla trucks. Whenever they were sad that they lost the election, it was like, you do realize that explosion could kill people, like, especially if it's an actual, like, parking lot filled with vehicles. I don't know what Elon's doing with his trucks, but they must have changed something. I don't know. But them cars, man, them cars are so unpredictable.
Guilty of her husband's murder after only 3 hours of deliberation.
We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty of aggravated murder.
You're not the only person that's asked me that either. Whenever I was working at the fire department, my fiance's grandfather asked me that, and I told him basically the same thing. I was like, yeah, I don't even know if there is, like, all we could do is put up a barrier around the car, hope that the metal that blows off of it doesn't, like, go over the barrier. Like, not like a big concrete wall, but like some tape or something, or like some traffic cones far enough away and to keep people out. That's pretty much all we can do, is let that bitch burn out on its own.
She was also found guilty of a couple other charges, including insurance fraud and forgery, and is now looking at life in prison with a minimum of 25 years. So the entire multi-day trial was live streamed, which actually makes it pretty easy.
Damn it. You got me on a rant. And the reason why you can put out a gas car or a hybrid car's battery is because the battery is under the hood. Now, if you've got an electric car, the batteries are usually under the length of the car. So that's why it's so damn difficult, because each one of those batteries can combust and light and heat up the next battery. So, like, it just goes down the row. That's why it like, unless you're able to flip the car upside down and just sit there and douse the specific parts, even if you could, there's not even a guarantee that it works. So, like, the emphasis on if you just throw the whole damn thing in water, it still burns. It's not even a guarantee that it'd work.
She might have chosen to not take the stand to avoid, I don't know, a brutal cross-examination, but regardless, it didn't matter.
But you have to realize that it's a catastrophic failure of the entire electrical system if you've got a car that's doing that. Like, even the Tesla trucks that were lit on fire, most of them just kind of burned down and whittled away. I don't know how they didn't explode, but they didn't. Like the Waymos that were in Minneapolis that they were burning into the pavement. I'm shocked no one was killed. I genuinely, I saw that, I was like, I don't know how the fuck no one, like, I don't know.
Points during the trial, the court heard about how Corey racked up millions of dollars in debt, had taken out life insurance policies on her husband, and was even having an affair. So I guess that kind of covers the motives, or at least the possible motives. She might have actually been going for the title.
If you're having an affair and you don't want to be with your partner, don't fucking kill him. Just leave. Just fucking leave, man. God damn.
Wife ever. But family members, ex-friends, attorneys, co-workers, even her ex-lover took the stand and testified against Corey, recounting everything from her cold and uncaring demeanor in the wake of his death to the time that she apparently mentioned how her life would be so much easier if Eric was dead.
And she said that in many ways it would be better if he were dead.
Oh, but I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself because obviously the ghostwriter and debt, I mean, that's crazy, but they're also far from the most damning evidence that came out of this trial. There were also bombshell revelations that Eric had apparently spent years privately meeting with divorce attorneys and estate planning lawyers. And this was apparently privately, as in his wife, Corey, didn't know.
Eric did not want me to have any contact with him via phone or email directly. He wanted everything to go through a third party, his brother-in-law.
So the meetings were planned through his siblings and in-laws, but never
So
Eric
he was trying to get out, I guess.
directly. And even told one of the attorneys to refrain from emailing him, allegedly to avoid the possibility of Corey coming across the correspondence while snooping.
Because he was worried that Corey would be reading his emails. He wanted to leave everything to his kids if possible.
So, I mean, clearly that doesn't scream like a healthy marriage between a husband and wife, but to be fair, Eric had already had his trust broken because he found out that Corey borrowed a $250,000 home equity loan of credit on Mr. Richens' house in Summit County, Utah. What the? I mean, hey, if you are stealing like that from your husband or wife, clearly the relationship is kind of over. But what makes it so much worse is he didn't find out about it until a year later when he stumbled across some information during a
And you know what sucks? Is that if you're married to somebody, they could do that too, and you'd never know about it. They could take out life insurance policies on you, and you'd never fucking know it. That's the scariest part about it.
bank visit. A handwriting expert from the prosecution said there was also a strong probability that Miss Richens had forged her husband's signature to obtain that credit line. Again, she is really speedrunning, being the worst wife ever. So at least that explains the fraud and forgery charges. And all being said, it's safe to say that Eric would want to, protect his assets and prevent this from happening again. So, him getting in contact with divorce attorneys and estate planners, that checks out and makes sense. But Eric was even considering how assets would be split amongst his children and other family members in the event of his death. And I mean, even though it's important to plan for your kids' future, no matter how young they are, it's pretty unusual for a guy.
Yes. I wonder if he knew that she was planning. Like how many times did he wake up with her holding something above him? You know what I'm saying?
Eric's age to be secretly moving things around behind his wife's back and preparing for his death the way he was. Almost like he kind of had like a inkling that Corey was up to something not good.
Man, you can hate on emotions all day. You ain't never gonna get rid of that gut feeling. If you know you got a good gut and your gut's telling you something's up, you're usually right.
Which is insanely eerie in itself.
If you got, let me tell you something. If you have lived by your gut and it's a good gut to go by, you will look at your spouse, your fiance, your wife, and you'll look at them and you'll know if they're cheating or not. You'll know instantaneously if they're cheating.
People going through divorce, in my experience, aren't thinking beyond what that divorce might look like. They're not thinking about death or estate planning and so forth.
And he might have actually been onto her because he made this very eerie remark that he thought his wife Corey might have tried to poison him after he suddenly became extremely ill on Valentine's Day.
He said that he thought that Corey had tried to poison him, but it was more of a funny story. It was like an allergic reaction is what we had thought it was.
So Eric jokingly, I want to accurately...
Yes, we were laughing at the story. Yes, and we all teased Corey for trying to kill him or poison him or whatever he thought it was.
Okay.
And while sure, they weren't being serious, they joked with Corey having no idea that they were actually right. And I guess...
So it's kind of... So what if he knew and he was trying to get somebody to help him? What if that was like a subtle signal to be like, yeah, haha, no one's, yeah, she tried to kill me, help. What if it was like that?
It's about 2 weeks later, their jokes sadly would become reality. So what exactly happened to Eric? I'll give you the quick recap of that night before we get into the more shocking discoveries from the trial. So on March 4th, 2022, Corey Richens says that her and her husband just had a normal night at home, just like any other. Well, except on this night, they had a drink to apparently celebrate the fact that Corey was supposed to be closing on a house for her real estate business the following day.
We had a drink together at 9 to celebrate something at work tomorrow.
So Corey's side of the story, she says that she brought a Moscow Mule to Eric in bed, along with a THC
Hey, Sticks, what we gonna do with this guy? Sticks, what we doing with this guy? What you think we should do to him? Should we ban him? It's your decision. Poll? All right, let's poll it. Let's poll it. Let's do it. Can't blame this one on me. It's the chat's decision now. It's the chat's time to shine. That's right. Damn, I don't think I've ever seen a poll that split before. Though it is only like 16 people here, so that have voted. So does this have a time limit? Like, where's my phone? Does the YouTube poll have a time limit, or do I have to end it manually every time? Ugh, that's stupid. Should be like a 30-second poll. All right, well, he's cooked. Looks like everybody that's voting is voted. Where'd he go? Oh, it's Gigabytes. How's it going? There you go. Oh, wait, shit. I'm not doing that on stream, am I? Hold on. I almost banned him off the stream page. Bye-bye. Your fate has been sealed. The Eye of Sauron has chosen, and you have lost.
Gummy. Then she said that she went to her kids' bedroom and fell asleep because they were apparently having night terrors at the time.
We went to bed. I went to bed with my kids. We went to bed in our bed.
What time did you guys go to bed?
9:30.
9:30? Okay.
9:45.
So I guess they just, cheered. He chugged the drink, and then she immediately went to bed with one of their kids after chugging a drink. I don't know. It just kind of seems off, obviously. But hours later, at around 3 in the morning, Corey says that she woke up from her kid's room and returned to her own bed. But when she got there and felt Eric sleeping, he was cold to touch and heavy.
I just woke up. I always, when I sleep with my kids, I always wake up and I go back in my own bed. And I just crawled over on his side. Oh my God.
Okay.
She did know that they were gonna do a blood. They were gonna take pieces of his liver and test it for poison, right? She must have known this. Surely she's not this fucking stupid, right?
So she then says that she called 911 and first responders arrived at the scene, capturing the rest of the horror.
Well, I mean, she did kill somebody, so I mean, that's pretty stupid, yeah.
Deal on their body cams. And obviously, everyone reacts in traumatic situations like this very
And what really sucks about that is because it's poison, you're most likely not going to bring that person back unless you administer some form of I mean, shit, she said he was cold already. I don't know, man. I don't know.
And you can't only judge someone based on how they act when they're in shock. But, now she's been convicted, so we don't actually have to give her the benefit of the doubt anymore. So with that being said, Corey shifts from hysterical tears to being able to recall various facts fairly easily and waiting calmly to answer more questions. So a lot of people on the internet were saying that she was faking her tears and trying to avoid police noticing based on the way that she kept, I guess, covering her face as time goes on. So naturally, she was claiming she had no idea what could.
I mean, I don't know, because when she crawled back in bed and she said that he was cold already, I don't think once you get to that point, I don't really know, because you don't know how long he's been dead. So the issue is, I don't know, man.
Cause this, the THC
I don't know.
gummy, the allergy shots, two things that absolutely do not cause this. Corey also recalls that Eric apparently had Lyme's disease, and she lists, a whole plethora of things that she was oh, maybe this happened, or maybe this could have caused this.
Does he have any medical conditions or anything like that?
He has Lyme's disease.
So no heart problems or anything like that?
No, I mean, he just said his chest was hurting when he went to bed, but that's, I mean, not, if he doesn't drink enough water, you know, when he gets on the bike downstairs, I don't know, it didn't.
So I guess her thought process behind the various things that could have ended his life was confusing to say the least, but her story conveniently places her outside of the bedroom when Eric passed away, allowing her to, I guess, you know, feign ignorance and toss out a bunch of false leads. But I guess another one was that he had a history of abusing pain medication back in high school.
Any history of prescription abuse?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like, in order for someone's body to be cold like that, he must have been laying there for a good bit. It actually takes quite a bit once for the body to turn cold. Like once I don't think there's really much you can, because like you have like, I think it's 5 or 6 minutes once somebody's heart stops before you get irreparable brain damage. So if their body's cold, I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost 100% certain there's no way you're gonna be able to get that person back. And even if you did, the damage would be so it would be so great that they'd be on life support. There wouldn't be anything left.
When he was in high school and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Pain pills, I think.
And I mean, that's just downright evil. Like,
Yeah,
knowing that
he had to have been laying there for a minute, which doesn't make any sense. Because if she said it was before bed, I don't know, man.
his life was taken and she was responsible.
Any first responder that rolls up to that and feels that dude being cold like that, I mean, yeah, you can do CPR, but 9 times out of 10, I mean, they're going to do CPR, but the thing is like 9 times out of 10, when you're doing CPR on them, you know that there's not really much you're going to be able to do. Like, you already know once you get there. Like, if you ask an EMT or a paramedic when you get there and they start moving the body around, if what the likelihood is, they'll probably give you an answer right out the gate. They're going to keep doing their job, of course. That's what we're trained to do, what we're meant to do. But they could probably give you an automatic, if they're going to live or not. Like, if you feel their body and they're cold, I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's any chance.
Stuff like this. So now we know that she poisoned him and then tried to frame him as some sort of like secret addict to his friends and family. Like, this is just so sad. You have to be such a soulless monster to go on and do this. I don't know how a person like this can look at their kids knowing that she took their father's life. But I guess as equally as disgusting this is, she seemed to hope that she could use a part of this as her defense. And I guess this assumption is based on the most damning piece of evidence presented in the trial, because there was a letter found in Corey's cell in 2023 after she had been arrested, known as the Walk the Dog note, because jurors were told that the 6-page letter was written by Corey to her mother, Lisa Darden. And in it, she outlined some ideas that she had about what her family could say to her lawyers when they testified. Most of it was her, again, trying to paint Eric as some secret addict. Like, I guess some sneaky guy who just tricked everyone he knew. Because as far as everyone could tell from the outside, Eric was a very successful and responsible husband and father. Like, he wasn't spending a bunch of money or acting shady or...
Like, ever since I became an EMT, like before, I would have probably just immediately called the police. But now if like I come across anything, it's always better in my mind to know that if I'm driving or something and I see something go on, mentally, I can't just drive by it. I can't. Like, and you don't have to be like a specialist or anything or a fucking certified person. Sometimes it's better if you drive by it and let whatever happen. If you're not trained to handle the situation, you're just going to become part of the problem. But somebody who's priorly trained or knows CPR, that person knows enough to keep doing CPR long enough for EMTs and paramedics to arrive. So, like, your mind, you may think that you're not doing anything, but whenever I hear somebody doing CPR, because I saw it in the other chat, doing CPR on somebody, that to me is a good sign. I feel like if you graduate high school, you should be taught basic CPR, period. And we should have more programs that help you keep up with it for free. Honestly, like,
secretive. And in the note, Corey writes that she was hoping that her brother could recall the time that Eric got on pain pills and from Mexico and did not tell Corey. And then also, I guess, relay that information to her lawyer at the time, Sky Lazaro.
Here is what I'm thinking, but you have to talk to Ronnie. He would probably have to testify to this. He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and
oh, how's it going? Yeah, today's definitely one of those weird
from
days.
Mexico.
I don't know what it is with this week, man. Between the internet going crappy, has been getting banned, and then all of a sudden the audio dropping out of the stream this morning. I don't know what the fuck is going, bro. There's some bad juju around me right now. I need to be careful.
Because I would get mad because I always said he just gets high every night and won't help take care of the kids.
She also states there's photos on her phone of Eric passed out, you know, which I guess could be used as evidence according to her. But those photos could also just be of him sleeping.
There are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or in the chair.
I feel like everyone in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, has pictures of their significant other sleeping. This is normal to have and absolutely does not mean that they're an addict and are passed out from using something crazy. But she continues on. Ronnie never told me about this conversation. Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some. Carmen being Eric and Corey's housekeeper who testified during the trial.
Housekeeper?
She actually sold Corey on multiple occasions leading up to Eric's passing.
Did Corey Richens ever ask you to purchase for her illicit drugs?
Yes.
How many times?
4.
Did you purchase illicit drugs for her?
Yes.
How many times?
Clocking in now.
And Carmen says that Corey reached out asking if she could help her get some pain medication for, I don't know, an investor apparently? Like, what?
So wait a minute, she's a housekeeper? And she's a doctor?
Reached out and asked if I could do her a favor, and I said, yeah, probably, what is it? And then she had called me and asked me if I could reach out to somebody for some pain meds for an investor that she knew, and I told her I could see what I could do.
What a fascinating thing to get for an investor. And she also said after the first or 2 transactions, Corey reached out to Carmen again, asking for the Michael Jackson stuff. Excuse me, what? So was she looking for something to, you know, end someone's life?
She's looking for that heavy stuff.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of ways to interpret that.
What you do tell them is
how the hell does a whole how did she even know the housekeeper would be able to get that kind of medication? Like,
Corey didn't ask for,
what the
she
fuck?
asked for the Michael Jackson drug.
Who the hell was this guy? How does he have this much money? He has a housekeeper.
I actually don't know how to interpret that, but the substance that apparently took Michael Jackson's life wasn't even. So, interesting comment regardless. But the date of this insane request was February 11th, 2022. And this is apparently just days before he was sick on Valentine's Day and joked about being poisoned. And then she made another request, and that came on February 26th. Again,
yo, you got just $900 laying around. That's insane. You just got $900 laying around to pay for these fucking pills like that. That's insane.
Just days before his passing.
What the hell?
I mean, seriously, there was just so much evidence.
How do you use $900 and not realize that that money is just gone?
Corey from the start here.
Like,
I don't even know what
holy
she thought was going to
crap.
happen here. Not to mention, she seems pretty emotionless the whole time, aside from a few eyebrow raises at witness testimonies. Like, I feel like she essentially knew that she got caught, but I guess she thought she'd just go down with a sinking ship and maybe pray for some forgiveness from a jury member. I don't know. Regardless, that didn't go too well for her. And on top of everything else we covered, there was apparently evidence of her planning a life with another man at the time she took the life of Eric. And this new dude was apparently named Josh Grossman.
He smelled the roses and was like, fuck that, I don't want nothing to do with her. She gonna mess around and get my ass poisoned.
And I guess this dude thought she
He's
was
like, fuck no.
So Josh, who is, for obvious reasons, no longer dating Corey, he testified against her in court and claimed he had no knowledge of her plan to, you know, murder her husband. And she also did confide with him about wishing he or Eric could just go away. But Josh says at the time, he didn't think that she meant she was going to take his life. And honestly, I don't think anyone would. Like, this is such a bizarre case. I feel like any normal human being would just assume, yeah, she's divorcing him. So, you know, she could actually go on and live a life with this guy.
Exactly.
And not be behind bars for the rest of her life. But unfortunately for the story, most of the horrible assumptions are true. Luckily though, Eric's family is getting justice as Corey was found guilty on multiple charges, the most important one being the murder of her husband.
Count 1, aggravated murder. We, the jury, unanimously find that the defendant, Corey Richins, is guilty of aggravated murder.
And her fake shocked face and just like delayed head bow when they read the guilty verdict, that's just insane.
We, the jury, unanimously agree that the prosecution has proved the following circumstance or circumstances regarding
unanimously
one beyond
damn
a reasonable doubt.
Damn. Got her.
Gain, and the homicide was committed by means of the administration of any substance administered in a lethal amount, dosage, or quantity.
And like I mentioned, she was also charged with attempted aggravated murder, forgery, and insurance fraud, because I guess she was just hungry for the insurance benefits as well. But as of right now, her sentencing is May 13th, which apparently would have been Eric's 44th birthday.
Oh, dude, isn't it just a beautiful thing? It's sad, but what a great day for that bitch to get like a life sentence or maybe the death penalty. Man, what a great day.
This whole story is just tragic, especially for the
kids.
It's
awful.
They lost both of their parents because of their mother's selfish actions. Because currently she's facing life in prison.
Think about his parents. Like, where are these kids gonna go? Now they got to raise two more. Like,
parents because of their mother's selfish actions. Because currently she's facing life in prison with a minimum sentence.
Good. There shouldn't be no minimum. It should be immediately maximum. Like, if guilty. The minute I heard guilty, life in prison. You took a tax-paying, hard-working citizen that could have contributed to society, and you killed them. You need to pay that debt. Your life is no longer yours. You owe that debt to society. It's time for you to go.
25 years. But that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Time to go in the box.
And good morning,
Trump over here trying to keep doing these negotiations with damn terrorists, man. Hopefully this time.
Kicking into overdrive. Let's see what we get from this one. Moments ago, there's the video of the Vice President, J.D. Vance, boarding
There he goes. There goes Vance.
Force 2 heading for Islamabad, Pakistan for high-stakes talks with Iran. High stakes, he said. Can they create an agreement that will end the war once and for all?
No, because all the things that they keep giving are bullshit. They've been giving bullshit since the beginning of this. They're going to continue giving bullshit even during this. You're not going to make a deal with these people because they don't care. It's obvious.
Doesn't get bigger than this. Good morning, everybody. On a Friday, I'm Bill Hemmer. Big 2 hours coming up right now.
It's high stakes with hot takes.
Yes, indeed. I like that hashtag.
I know, right? Vance need to make sure he's got his ass covered. Bro's got a big ass target on his head being in that damn country.
Dana Perino, and this is
I'm gonna be pissed if something happens to Vance. I'm not even gonna lie.
This newsroom before the vice president took off. He took an upbeat tone on those talks, but also warning Iran, don't even think about pulling a fast one.
Oh yeah. If you're new here, sub to the channel. Hit like on the stream. We're here every single day, 8 a.m. to, well, unless it's today apparently, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time, unless the internet goes out. Check out the channel membership. I think I've got 20 new channel members. Y'all have been going crazy. I saw that. I got a little congratulation thing on YouTube's notification. I was like, what is this thing? And I clicked on it. I saw I got 20 new members, and I was like, damn. So 20 total members now. W members, by the way. Y'all are awesome. W constant viewers. Y'all ain't got to be members. W constant viewers that show up every day, hit like and chill and hang out and vote in the chat.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see
As the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If
I don't think they are. I think they're biding time for something. They're doing what they always do and bide time to try and make more of something that is fail even harder. I mean, like,
try to play us,
come
then
on,
they're gonna
what are
find
we
that the
doing?
negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The president is
I gotta hand it to Vance. Vance seems to know how. He looks weird. Did Vance lose weight? Am I missing something? Does it look like he's lost a lot of weight? Look, I could see it in his neck. Like this shot right here, he looks like super skinny.
gave us some pretty clear guidance.
I think what I was going to say is Vance is really good at negotiations. He managed to get that stuff in Minneapolis cleared up pretty quickly, like really quickly.
Headlines, and we're going to see. So I hope you guys have a safe flight. We'll certainly take some questions later on, but for now, let's get on the plane and.
Do you think Vance negotiates like Trump does? Do you think he negotiates like that? Let's see if I still got it on the saved playlist. Hold on.
Someone I know who doesn't believe.
I still got it here? I do. You think he negotiates like this?
Looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan. President Trump looked at the Taliban leader and said this: I want to leave Afghanistan, but it's going to be a conditions-based withdrawal. And translator translated. And he said, if you harm a hair on a single American, I'm going to kill you. And the translator goes, and Trump goes, tell him.
Tell him what I said.
Tell him what I said. Reached in his pocket, pulled out a satellite photo of the leader of the Taliban's home and handed it to him.
Shut up.
Got up and walked out the room.
Sure did.
Do you know for 18 months not a single American was killed in Afghanistan?
Sure did.
That's the definition of strength. That's what I'm talking about. And so you could imagine that kind of sentiment being around the world. If we have an embassy in another country, no one's going to touch it because they're going to be fearful that they'll get a Moab on their head. That's how President Trump rolls.
What's the message to?
Oh, that's loud. Like, you think Vance follows the same principles? I certainly hope he does.
So
we're going to roll up in there and he's going to have like a map of everything that has X's on it. And he's like, we're going to hit here, and we're going to hit over there, and then we're going to hit that. And he's going to turn and be like, you know what those are? That's everything that's going to make your country go burr, bitch. And he just keeps pointing out stuff.
Trump flatly rejecting Iran's first proposal, now pushing for a stronger deal. That deal would include putting a laser focus on one of the toughest issues on the table, and that's the fate of the Strait of Hormuz. Days into a fragile ceasefire, that key waterway has become what Iran sees as its biggest bargaining chip. It's still choking off the movement of many ships, deciding which ones can and cannot flow freely.
Overnight, President Trump posted on Truth Social saying Iran is doing a very poor job, dishonorable, some would say, of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz. That is not the agreement we have.
So meanwhile, Dana, another potential stumbling.
Yeah, like exactly. They still haven't even opened up the damn strait. Like, why the hell are we even doing this? The hell you doing, Trump?
Dishonorable, some would
Trump
say.
need to bring out that damn dog again, man. Let's go. Get your ass in gear, bro.
Of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz. That is not the agreement we have.
So meanwhile, Dana, another potential stumbling block is the conflict ongoing in Lebanon against Hezbollah. Israel continues to hit Hezbollah, Iran's largest and to date most powerful proxy. That regime insisting that any move to exclude this from the ceasefire talk is a non-starter for them.
And Peter Doocy and Trey Yingst have been covering this story from the get-go. They join us from the White House and from Tel Aviv. And Peter, let's start with you. Any other word about how the president advised J.D. Vance before he took off?
I actually think you're right about that. I think Vance is the quiet type. He just goes. I mean, in Minneapolis, he went down and talked to the police captains, and then he went out and did a press conference, and every single question they had, he completely destroyed. So, like, I think you're right. I think Vance doesn't have to be intimidating. He's just going to outthink the situation and outmaneuver anyone that tries to be an enemy to him. I think that's what is going to happen with Vance. I do.
Well, when J.D. Vance says that the president gave them clear guidelines, we understand that to mean that the U.S. needs to go in there and tell Iran no enrichment, period. That is what we have heard from White House officials. Remember, about 6 weeks ago, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner were sitting there with the Iranians and said the U.S.
Speak softly and carry a big stick. That's right. It's just a beautiful thing whenever I hear our sticks are bigger than anybody else's. See, our sticks are the ones that every other country wants.
Give you all the uranium you want for peaceful purposes. You just can't use it to enrich a bomb. And Iran said no. Now they are, of course, adding J.D. Vance to the equation. And so we'll see how things go. We don't even really know what the format is yet. They had indirect talks last time. These will be TBD.
Okay, so from the White House, we move to Tel Aviv and Trey Yinks. What has happened there in the last 12 hours, Trey?
Yeah, Bill, a lot of developments here in the Middle East over the past 12 hours. We know the Israelis and the Lebanese...
W, new member. Oh, no, you sent a gifted. No, W's gifted. W gifted. Hell yeah, W, man. Thank you. It was a... Oh, hold on. It's still... Life's, I've seen your name up in here. Where was it at? Life's a script, right? Yeah, Life's a script. W, Life's a script. W. You got the paperclip. Isn't that Clippy? That looks like Clippy.
Government are entering into direct talks next
I wish
week
you
in
could like the
Washington to try and
memberships.
develop peaceful relations between the two countries and disarm Iran's largest proxy in the region, Hezbollah. The Iranians are tying strikes against Hezbollah directly to the negotiations this week in Islamabad. And so there are three really major issues we're looking at here. That's Iran's support of regional proxies and whether or not they're going to tie the success and outcome of these negotiations to support of Hezbollah. We're also looking at the Strait of Hormuz, where since the ceasefire began, anywhere from 8 to 11 vessels have been able to pass through. And Israeli intelligence officials tell Fox News the Iranians are demanding fees of those vessels that are making it through this critical waterway. And then finally, you have this issue of enriched uranium. Despite the fact that earlier this week, President Trump said there was an agreement to go into Iranian territory in the future and dig up that enriched uranium that was buried in the aftermath of Operation Midnight Hammer and then remove it from the country. Iran's nuclear chief this week...
Bro, you ain't gonna go there and take all that uranium out the ground like that. Bomb it. Bomb the site. You ain't just gonna go somewhere and dig up an entire mine and take all the ore out of it. Dude, that's not how it works. What do you think, this is a game? Come on.
They will maintain the right to enrich uranium. And so...
You could maybe fortify the area... Try to find any other minerals that are similar, like the uranium, and try to fortify them, like put up bases around them. You ain't about to go there and take up all that uranium out of the ground, bro. It ain't gonna happen. Let's say you bomb that site. If there's uranium on that land, they're just gonna go and find it somewhere else. You gotta quit trying to band-aid this shit.
Points to work out here at the negotiating table, and the question here is whether or not the Iranians are willing to make a good faith deal.
And then, Peter, how is the White House processing the increase in oil prices, the concern people have going forward, and, of course, the inflation report today?
Dana, they are eager to change the subject to something else. Nobody here is saying that high gas prices are not a problem. They are saying that high gas prices will only be a problem for a little bit. But in terms of changing the subject, next week they're going to send the president to Arizona and Nevada. It's tax week. They want to talk about all the help that no tax on tips and no tax on overtimes has for blue-collar workers, Trump supporters or not. Something else interesting about this dynamic, though, they are sending J.D. Vance, a tale as old as time. Sometimes presidents give the hardest possible job.
Oh, welcome to the got good Beastie Boy, W Beastie Boy, W Beastie Boy, man.
To their
let me pull that up. I gotta show it because I can't like the. What the hell's going on? Yo, W. Yeah, we got those exclusive emotes, by the way. I made those myself. Yeah.
Biden do this with Harris when he said, you're in charge of the border. President Trump sending J.D. Vance here gives the president an opportunity, if things go great, to say, I delegated well. and if things go poorly, to say, well, maybe I'll get involved next time.
Okay, Trey, one more thing on what's happening in Lebanon, because those talks begin early next week in Washington, D.C. And from what I understand here...
If I'm not mistaken, that's international water. I don't think they own anything. Is the Strait of Hormuz in international water? Yeah. It's international. They don't even own the strait. It's an international strait. That's the issue with it, is that you realize that they're trying to take it over. They're trying to gain land by doing that. The Strait of Hormuz is not owned by Iran. It's international.
You've got the Israeli government and maybe the Lebanese government trying to squeeze...
Did I say the Strait of Iran? Strait of Hormuz.
And
oh, no, I did. I did say the Strait of Hormuz is not owned by Iran.
The Lebanese government, now in power, recognizes Israel. Is that a possibility now for that region?
Yeah, we've seen a huge shift in tone from the Lebanese government as a result of direct efforts by the Trump administration. The fact that during this conflict, you had the Lebanese prime minister call on Hezbollah to lay down their arms and stop firing toward Israel is something unheard of. Had we told you this 2 years ago, people would have laughed because there was such a
13 miles isn't very big. I guarantee you what the Strait of Hormuz is, because it's not just Iran. It's bordered with, I think it's like, what the fuck's next to it? Saudi Arabia or some shit? I don't know what's next to it. It's bordered with a different country. So, like, unless you own the whole damn thing, that's a little different. So, like, I think what makes it international water is the fact that it butts right up against another country. Because the land on the left belongs to somebody and the land on the right is Iran's. So that's probably why it's international water.
And Hezbollah was deeply embedded into the Lebanese government. The reality is the president's been able to change the focus of the Middle East from eternal conflict to trying to find some mediation efforts toward...
I'm not surprised. Like, I don't know the terrain of that area. I've just been seeing a lot of the Strait of Hormuz. Like, I'm sure it's got a lot of people that have all like been bordered right there. So who knows?
A broader ceasefire deal that doesn't just affect the situation inside Gaza between Israel and Hamas, and doesn't just affect the situation in Lebanon between Israel and Hezbollah, but a broader plan for the region that would allow things here to stabilize. And again, this is part of the reason that Operation Epic Fury began. The president was very clear. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, despite the fact that they initially came to the negotiating table and said they had enough enriched uranium for 11 nuclear bombs. And so one of the largest hurdles in the region was considered the IRGC and the threat that the regime posed. And now that that has been largely degraded in the aftermath of these U.S. and Israeli strikes, it opens up a possibility for the Middle East where you could start to see more negotiation taking place and normalization deals across the board that would bring in countries like Lebanon to try and make peace with Israel.
All right, Trey Yingst, Peter Doocy, you're going to have busy days, and we thank you for your expertise.
It is 3D chess, and it's the Middle East, and Michael Allen knows it well, former NSC
you
senior
all right?
director. Michael, welcome to our coverage here. So we're balancing two different plates here. Now you've got the Washington talks.
Well, yeah, you also have to keep in mind that most of the world's like oil supplies come out of that strait. So it would be very good strategically if Iran took that and then immediately charged everybody that wanted to go through an abysmal amount of money. Like, it totally would, but the fact that you're even trying to wheel and deal with this bullshit is crazy to me. Just bomb the fuck out of them. Like, I don't even know why. Like, you did it all over the goddamn their country. What makes this any different? Why is this any different? The oil's not even coming out of Iran. It's coming from, like, further up in the strait. What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Sink the islands that are there, bro. Put them under the water.
The United States and Iran.
Make a new sandbar. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Jack Keane earlier today on that.
President Trump is not going to make a bad deal here. As much as he thinks there's a good deal coming, doesn't know for sure until it's on the table and what are the verification process. He knows these guys are liars and cheaters. Listen, nobody has negotiated more with this regime than this president. And this is the only president who's ever taken them on consequentially in terms of military operations.
So, Michael, let's start in Pakistan with regard to Iran. What do you rate as what are the chances that these talks actually can produce a lasting peace?
Well, the stakes have definitely gotten higher for Vice President Vance. I'm certain that the president has given him the charge to threaten the resumption of military force unless Iran agrees to at the very least, the loose terms we had worked out earlier in the week. We have to be clear with the Iranians that they do not have a veto over who gets through the Straits of Hormuz. And that
this is just like those terrorists that took over that one area and made the commerce, like the boats, go all the way around. I don't remember where it was at, but it was like, it happened, it was sometime last year, the second that Trump got into office, he bombed the fuck out of them and they fucked off and allowed the shipping channel to reopen the way it should be, so they didn't have to go all the way around an entire fucking continent. That's what should be happening right here. Hell.
Ought to be reestablished as a free and open international waters passageway. Anything short of that gives them control.
5. Look at that. Yes. So it was Saudi Arabia. I was right. It shares with Saudi Arabia, whatever the fuck this is. I think that might be. It's not Iraq. I don't know what this is. It's not named. I don't know what this is either, but these aren't named. Because this has a little thing here that you probably can't see, but these are, I don't know.
Over energy and by extension, sort of a veto,
UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia. There's another one right here. See, this, I think this is where they get the oil from, is further up, like up here, I think. Like here. But I'm not 100% sure.
Over the world economy.
It may even be like an oil derrick or thing in here in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Like,
that's unacceptable. We've got to get it back on track, and I can't think of anything that they'd be interested in unless it's the renewed prospect of military force, which they should want to avoid.
I mean, I think to me, that's where it all comes down to. I joked yesterday it was the Strait of no moves, because the agreement, as President Trump just said in his truth, it's like, that's not the agreement we had. But if you're a dying regime because of all the things that have just happened to you, and all of a sudden you have the most important leverage you've ever had in your existence, why would you give that up?
So I really don't think they're going to give it up at the negotiating table. They may come out of this weekend with some language.
You see, like, I think that the world would be a better place if this island was just a sandbar. Like, you just turn this little island here and maybe a little bit of here. You just kind of shave it off the sides. You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of shave into the country a little bit. You know, you drop enough, I'm sure something's bound to happen, right?
We'll try to.
You crack enough suns over land, I'm sure something's bound to happen.
Maybe we'll get the Chinese and others to try and weigh in with the Iranians. But I think honestly, I think we're going to have to go back to a situation where the United States is degrading Iran's coastal defenses.
Maybe they should have thought about that before they started closing up the ship channel.
Near the Strait of Hormuz, we've been busily degrading other things across the country the last 5 weeks. But that will enable, we think, the CENTCOM commander to say to the commander-in-chief, we've now reduced the threat enough to where we can do a freedom of navigation operation, establish that it's back open, and hopefully be able to do an escort mission to start bringing tankers through.
That's what they should have already been doing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. If we're at a ceasefire, they could have just be like, if the ceasefire is based on the strait being open and they don't actually open the strait, well, then you need to start escorting those tankers through. And the thing is that if the ships get fired upon, then you immediately start dropping the bombs again. If you want to meet these people midway and act like it's in good faith, then making sure that it's in good faith by doing what the whole ceasefire is about is a pretty good start. Why haven't they been escorting these ships through? It makes no sense.
Let it go.
Sorry, Michael, that means we go back to war, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm afraid so. I mean, let's see what happens this weekend. We've got I'm sure we have a very effective message. And so Vance has got a lot of pressure on him here.
Yeah.
All right. Michael Allen, thank you. We'll be in touch.
By the hour. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
President Trump is optimistic ahead of peace talks with Iran and Pakistan tomorrow. Vice President Vance set to lead the talks. The new Ayatollah threatening the Strait of Hormuz is a new phase. That's an interesting one. Says our next guest says Iran will try to string us along and sell us a bad deal, but businessman Trump will not let that happen. Let's bring him here. Retired four-star general, Fox News senior strategic analyst, chairman of the Institute of Study of War, General Jack Keane. General, we're in the ceasefire stage. The president's optimistic. Are you?
Well, the president has information that none of us have. So there's something there that's telling him this looks better than any of the other negotiations that he's been involved in, and certainly what the Iranians did with the Obama administration. So that's got to be a fact. But no, I'm not optimistic about it because this is what the Iranians do. I mean, they are masters at obfuscation and delaying negotiations. What's on the table is everything that they value, everything from the nuclear to the ballistic missiles to their drones to support for proxies, everything they stand for, they would have to voluntarily give up. It's hard to get your head around the fact that they would actually do that. What they will likely do is make concessions on a number of points that will incentivize us. Oh, this is different. They're willing to make a deal here. Drag this thing out for a number of weeks. And why do they want to drag it out? Well, because they don't want us to go back.
Yes, sir. Another beautiful day in Texas.
There is lower oil prices, the lower there's less economic pain, the longer there's.
I see there's a couple lobotomites up in the comments. Hold on a second. Stinks. Not as bad as this comment. I'm actually originally from Louisiana, but I live in Texas. Louisiana.
Less political pressure. It makes it that much tougher in their minds for the administration to go back and finish the job militarily. That, I believe, is really their strategy. And they're very clever at doing this. They're actually better at this than they are at fighting. And the history speaks for itself. And the other thing is, whatever the deal is, Brian, let's say we actually get to something and they're signing papers. Can we really trust these guys going forward?
Absolutely
I don't think so.
No. I mean, it's the same cycle that's a rinse and repeat for 47 years. Like, obviously you can't. They can't even do the one good faith thing, and that's opening the strait. Why are we sending Vance over to a country near them? Fuck that, dude. Keep bombing them. The hell are we doing?
So we have to be prepared. Yeah, we got to be prepared. And I know our forces can open up that strait and protect the ships going through it. People are hand-wringing about a drone here and a missile there, and it's not going to take anything to stop it. They don't understand the plan, all right, and the details of the plan. The United States military can secure a defined space that's moving through the straits, put an absolute air cap and an air bubble around all of that, and make certain that anything that tries to penetrate it is going to be defeated. My God, we've been protecting our own ships against Iranians, have been firing on them for weeks. We can certainly do this. It's considered to be more limited than that. Right. Admittedly, they have a whole
they could just make a line. Just have like a decent line of warships that kind of move side to side, like, or even just straight up escorts for the individual tankers. Have like a line of tankers, and you've got like their own escort team. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we even trying to wheel and deal like this? Because of some like water.
You think we're actually going to let anybody come close to that shoreline? We'll have Apache helicopters up, surveillance up.
Yeah, exactly.
We know how to do this.
Send one of the carriers over there.
So
rally up the jets,
it's
man.
Not challenging. I'm not saying there isn't some risk associated with it. There's risk associated with every military operation, but it's quite doable.
So the thing is, General, we could stop. The Chinese are allowed to go through there. The Iranian ships are allowed to go through there. They're deciding India and Pakistan ships can go through there.
I guess I haven't really pulled anybody up. 29, but Texas, this better houses and better cost of. I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm 31 and I've lived in Texas for, I think at this point, I think next year will probably be a little bit more than half my life. We started this war and they're talking about good faith. Oh, we haven't pulled anybody up yet to make fun of them. And Israel doesn't have the manpower to invade Iran or take control. I don't really care about Israel. So how did America start this? How is us bombing them our fault? I give you till like 11:02. The clankers are out and about, boys. Be mindful. The clankers are out and about. Well, I guess you don't have anything to say. So like being a coward. Enjoy your perma.
Why don't we decide they can't go through there? Why don't we can do this? To leave them in charge while charging people extortion is not something that anybody can tolerate.
Well, I always thought that the first option available to us when they shut down the straits, as opposed to the security option, which involves much more resources, is just the Iranian ships are coming through.
Don't feel bad about sleeping in. We ended up starting later today because the internet shat the bed around 2:30 yesterday. So come to find out, somebody had disconnected the internet down at the box. So I don't know who the fuck could have done that. But if I have to deal with this again, I'm probably going to ask them to show me where the fucking box is so I can connect my internet and not have to wait an entire day to get my internet back.
Quarantine them.
Whoever did it, let's just say that you better hope that you cut that fucking line next time.
In the Gulf of Oman. And in talking to our military guys, it wasn't a big deal. They can do it. They did it off the coast of Venezuela as well. And, the other thing we could do, because a lot of those ships would be China, they depend on Persian Gulf oil. I mean, they would be strapped if we did something like that. The president calls Xi and says, look, Iran is forcing us our hand here. This is something I don't want to do. But I got to do it because I got to get the straits open. And that's the reality of it. And you're going to have to pay a price. What I'd like you to do is dial up the Iranians and tell them to knock it off. I'm not telling you to tell them to stop opposing us. I'm just telling you.
Trump said that he was going to annihilate a whole bunch of things. Why the hell didn't he do that? Why did he immediately change gears?
Knock off closing the straits. I think that's a feasible strategy. And if we continue to have problems with them, I think that's the strategy we should exercise first, even before we go to the military option of conducting secure convoys through the straits.
Yeah. It's going to be a big 2 weeks. It's going to be a big weekend. J.D. Vance is in charge, but there's no way they can remain in charge of the Strait of Hormuz. It's even bigger than the Persian Gulf. Go ahead, General. Thanks so much.
One final point. Listen, President Trump is not going to make a bad deal here. As much as he thinks there's a good deal coming, doesn't know for sure until it's on the table. And what are the verifications?
I mean, J.D. Vance talked about how it felt like they were giving him like AI deals that he was just throwing in the garbage. I mean, Bro, they need to quit relying on all that AI stuff and start trying to worry about giving water to their peoples, man. That's where all their water's going.
These guys are liars and cheaters. Listen, nobody has negotiated.
They're
more.
not even like. I gotta give it to the IRGC for the most part. They said they were making nukes. They said they were doing it. I don't think they're liars. I mean, they're cheaters, sure, but like the leaders said that's what they were doing. I mean. Like, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, they like to dick around and waste a lot of time, sure. But, like, I don't know if you could really call all of them liars, because some of them just don't give a fuck, dude.
With this regime than this president. And this is the only president who's ever taken them on consequentially.
Well, I guess what I should do is emphasize the one person that said they were making nukes. Like, I should emphasize that, I guess. I can't really speak for the rest of them, but there's one guy in that crowd that sold the game.
Military operations, for a fact.
Right.
So he knows what he's dealing with here. And I've got confidence he is not going to make a bad deal here after all the sacrifices that we've made going forward here. So my bet is on that outcome for sure. No bad deal. And we may find ourselves having to go back to military operations and finish this once and for all. And in that respect, I actually favor it because then we're not throwing the regime a lifeline financially. Any deal we get into, we got to remove sanctions, freeze billions of dollars of assets.
Doesn't it also say in their book that they're not allowed to worship false prophets? What do you call a chair and a cardboard cutout of a human being? That seems pretty false, don't it?
The regime is not going to recover immediately.
It's just like Ilhan Omar moving into Minneapolis, making a wine business whenever she's a Muslim. She's not allowed in her religion to own, partake, or sell wine.
They are going to recover.
Yet she became a multimillionaire off of it. That's interesting. That's real interesting. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
With that kind of financial assistance.
General, good point. It's everyone's going to be watching. We can't let it end the way it is right now. General Jack Keane, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews.
That's another good question. I love how Ilhan Omar is in our government trying to tell us what our Constitution says, yet she's from a country where in her country, there's no way in hell she would own anything. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that just an interesting thing?
Our Vice President J.D. Vance and other top U.S. negotiators are heading to Pakistan today ahead of those high-stakes peace talks with Iran.
Meanwhile, President Trump says he is optimistic about working out a deal. Trey Yanks is live in Tel Aviv with the details. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, Lawrence, good morning. High-stakes talks are scheduled this weekend in Islamabad, Pakistan, aimed at creating an agreement to end the war. With the temporary ceasefire in place, international focus remains on the Strait of Hormuz. Overnight, President Trump took to Truth Social to say, quote, Iran is doing a very poor job, dishonorable, some would say, of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz.
Where do you get your business from? Well, I guess that is true. She didn't. Well, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You can tell a lot of the people in Leavenworth, hey, why don't you dial up Mike Tyson for being an objective thinker? I'm sure his days whenever he was in jail would say otherwise. I don't know. Look, it's so vague. Are you with or for everybody here? I'm confused. And you're right about that. She technically didn't own a winery. I mean, you can say that it was a winery, but it was fraud. I mean, let's be honest here. Like I said, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Where you get your info from, big guy? Are you referring to somebody else when you say that? When you say, where are you getting your info from, big guy? Factually speaking, you are incorrect. It's very simple. Did not make any other statements. But that's not even what you said. You didn't say that I was incorrect. You said, I don't know where you get your info from, big guy. You can easily figure out where I get a lot of my information from. I stream it every single day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. Every single day. So now that we got that cleared, where should I be getting my information from? I'm asking you a genuine question. Where should I be getting it from? Nothing? I think we're on the same page. I think we're on the same page, but there's a lot of misconception here. It's the joke that she owned a business. Ilhan Omar has a registered wine business. But whenever you visit the site, she's not selling any wine. It was obviously a form of fraud. If you're not on the same page with that, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, a wine business. Do I need to Google it for you? I'm not going to Google it. I'll type it into YouTube. I'm sure a lot of shit will pop up. Let's see if I've gotten used to spelling her name. Ilhan Omar wine. No, is it wine? Winery. There it is. I mean, town hall. She's scared. Like winery. $5 million winery fraud. Like it's everywhere, man. Like if you don't know about that, then I don't really know what to tell you. It's plastered all over the everywhere, dude. Like I don't know what to tell you. If you don't even know about that, then you're really lost. But she doesn't have the business registered in her name. It was her husband. Oh, fuck's sake, it's doing it again. Does this have captions? It does. Like she's paid taxes on it. She's paid taxes on this business. I don't know why the audio's not working. It's doing that thing again. Does that mean that all the audio's out now? Bro, what the fuck is going on? My OBS, why does my audio just instantly go out? I don't know why it's doing this. I just don't know why it's doing this. Maybe there's an update or some shit. I don't know. Actual debates. Hold on. So you are a problem child. Okay. Hold on. But she doesn't have the business registered. Dude, I just showed you the fucking business, Einstein. Look. Oh my god. You know what? It's in her name. This is her tax form, dimwit. I can't even with that. I just can't. I can't. Of course, this piece of shit's gonna fucking act like a piece of shit. Why? What the fuck is going on? I don't understand why it's doing this. Actually getting really fucking pissed off with this piece of shit now. That fix it? It sure didn't. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know. It did this shit earlier this morning and it's doing it again. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know. I don't know why the fuck it keeps doing this. It was working just fine for however long it fucking worked for, and now it's just done it again. don't know. Like, and then it solved itself earlier, just out of nowhere. So I don't fucking know what's causing this stupid shit. No fucking clue. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I do know what I want to do, though. I definitely want to do this. Bye. You're an idiot. Go look the information up yourself. Dumbass. That shit's so fucking weird. I'm so irritated right now. It's not even funny. I'm so fucking irritated. If you guys only knew, I'm like 5 seconds away from throwing this entire fucking desktop out the window. I don't know. I don't know what's causing this. Unplug it, wait for 5 seconds. No, I turned it on. I turned it on this morning. I turned it on this morning. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck. There was not even a point to having it on last night. I couldn't open up any of the tabs. I just don't know why the fuck it keeps doing this stupid shit. But I'm actually getting really pissed off now. It worked fine up until literally 5 seconds ago. Like, what the fuck is going on with this dog shit? Fuck. I just don't understand why it just decides that it's going to do this. 2? What's weird is I even turned it off earlier and then it just didn't fuck off and then it just randomly started working again. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Because it was working and now it's not, and it just randomly happens? Like, how does that make any sense? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I wish I knew. I do. I wish that I have no fucking clue. I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Suspended last night.
It's the fucking HDMI cable. It's the fucking HDMI cable.
On Twitch. I end my stream and I come back from the gas station and I...
You fucking kidding me? Wow, that's crazy. You know, come to think of it, I did that before, didn't I? I did the same thing before. Here.
I just investigated Ilhan Omar's official financial disclosures, and what I found was so dark and criminal. I don't know how she gets out of this without going to jail. Have a look at this. Here's Ilhan Omar's financial disclosure from the Congressional Record, year 2023. I want to bring your attention to this company right down here, Est Crew LLC. This is a winery in Santa Rosa, California. It's not doing that well. The total value of the winery is listed at $15,000.
This is on her income tax record. She paid for it. She paid taxes on the fucking thing.
And Ilhan Omar's barely making any money off of it at all.
Oh, look at that. Wow. I was right. I'm actually going to save this. Dude, I don't know who you are, Ruben Rupert. Don't strike the channel. If you want me to remove this content, email me, leave a comment in the chat. Using this account, I will remove it. You don't have to stress anytime. I know that YouTube gives you a year in which to respond to something like this. Anytime. Could be a year, could be 20 years. If you want me to remove it, just let me know. You ain't got to go striking people, okay? Just let me know.
All hardly enough to pay a parking ticket. Okay, that's fine. Nothing really mysterious there. Businesses fail all the time. But go ahead and look at her filing for 2024, and you'll find that Est Crew Winery, the same company in the same location, is now worth $5 million. That's incredible, up from $15,000. Facebook page. You'll see here that
the goal was is to prove that stupid people are stupid people, and the end goal was to be able to pull up this and be like, permaban, ha ha ha. But fuck me, I guess. I don't know.
Someone I know who doesn't believe we went to the moon. So I said, what kind of evidence would convince you? He said, images of the landing site of the Apollo missions. So I said, okay, here's a website where we sent an orbiter to the moon so that it was close enough, because ground-based telescopes, they don't have the resolution to see the landing sites. But if you get close enough to the moon, you can. It photographed the entire surface of the moon, and there were the landing sites, and you saw the rover tracks, the base for the lunar module. That night, he went home and found it. Then he came back and says, NASA could have faked that. Well, I'm done with you. We have no more to talk about.
Yeah, then I was gonna ban. It was gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a goddamn thing, and this piece of shit ruined it for me. Fuck you. Fuck you, piece of shit. Fuck you. Okay. 11:30. You know what? I think I better stop before the grace of something decides to make me spontaneously combust in this fucking chair. I'm gonna end the stream before something actual really bad happens. Today has been an absolute fucking nightmare. I don't know what is going on. I don't know who I pissed off in the great beyond, but please leave me the fuck alone. I don't know what is going on. We will be back on tomorrow, bright and actually, you know what? I'm stupid. We're gonna do the fish after this. Actually, you ain't gonna take my fish away. I can disconnect from the internet and still do that. Fuck you. We gonna do the fish after this. So stick around. Well, I'm gonna close this stream and open up the other one, and we'll do the fish or elephants or whatever I see. It might be the fish again. I kind of like that one. And then we'll do that for 10 or 11 minutes to calm after the storm, and then we'll roll out for the day. I'm always be back the next day for the most part, unless the internet goes out again. Stream every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Central Time. So please stick around. Keep showing up. We're always here. Thank you so much for being here. W new members. W any donos. Hold on.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no love for the fakeness.
We're going to be back on in a little bit. Give me a little time, and then I'll come up with the fish stream. And then we'll be back tomorrow after that. So if you like the political stuff, we do it every day. So just stick around. Thanks for subbing. Thanks for liking the stream. W viewers, W new viewers, W constant viewers. W everybody. If you go out there, stay away from crazy people. From what I can tell, it's a little contagious, so, we might be pulling you up and making fun of you if you catch it. And try to put a smile on someone's face you might chance to hold there their whole life, you never know. And some of y'all I'll see in a little bit, and some of y'all I'll see tomorrow. Peace! Have a good day, good weekend for those of you that don't show up over the weekend.
Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help, I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no